Okay, welcome everyone to the Rotary Club of Coronado's weekly Wednesday meeting for January 25th. And so let's start out with our inspirational invocation and pledge by Ray Batar. And if everybody would please stand.
Madam President, members and guests, good to see everybody today. I'm going to be reading from a pretty famous prayer called the Serenity Prayer. Many of you might be familiar with it. But one of the reasons I'm reading it is because it's from my favorite theologian, or at least one of them. And more often than not, it is attributed to Anonymous, but it is Reinhold Niebuhr who wrote this. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Living one day at a time, enjoying one moment at a time, accepting hardships as the pathway to peace, taking, as he did, the sinful world as it is, not as I would have it, trusting that he will make all things right if I surrender to his will, so that I may be reasonably happy in this life and supremely happy with him forever and ever in the next. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Ray. Okay, and you know what? I want to welcome all of our members, all of our guests, and all of our members and guests that might be on Zoom today. So I don't think, and I might be wrong, do we have any visiting Rotarians today? All right, so let's go with guests. Do we have guests today? We got over here. Yep.
President Luann, fellow Rotarians and guests, it's my pleasure to introduce my special guest, Britt Zeller.
Madam President, Rotarians and guests, introducing our speaker today, Rena Clancy.
President Luann, fellow Rotarians, I have a special guest today, my wife, Linda. And over here, we have Jamie Haberman, who is learning how to run a hybrid meeting.
Thank you.
President Luann, fellow Rotarians, I'd like to introduce you to my guest, my husband, Ted Gilmore.
Okay, is that oh, we got some couple over here. Marilyn, they got a microphone. There you go.
I would like to introduce my son-in-law, Ralph Saul, who is here for the first time.
Oh, welcome. Okay, is that everyone? So welcome to all of our guests. And as we always do, do we have any guests on Zoom? You can unmute, say hi. Okay, I guess we'll go there where we have all members. As we always do, we have our red badgers stand up so everybody can see who they are. I think the first one is Hanadi Badassarian is back in the back. I think Kanadi's back there. Then we have Sarah Cheverton right here. Ronnie Hauser where's Ronnie? Is right there. Jerry Brown. There's Jerry right there. Joe Malloy was always sitting in the same spot. Carrie Siegenthaler, Carrie's here, over there. Mike Jensen, Mike's right there. I don't know, is Arlene Inch, did she make it? I didn't see her. Okay. Michelle Meek is back in the back. Glad to see Michelle. And then Michelle Gilmore here. This is her last time. She's been doing her, she'll be giving her Who Am I? Okay, and then as you always see that we have the reserved spots at the table. So if you're a new member or Red Badger, do me a favor when you come and take one of those spots. And everybody that sits at the table knows that you're a new member and, get to know each other. So announcements, if we can get the slide for that. Okay, so the first announcement, again, is the District Anti-Human Trafficking Safe House Cleanup. That is this Saturday from 8:30 to 12:30. We really haven't had a big response for that. And I need to let them know whether we're going down again this time or not. So if you are interested in that, do me a favor and shoot me an email or see me after. We do meet here in Coronado and go down as a group. So let me know on that one. The Rotary's next social is going to be Thursday, February 9th at Doug St. Dennis's home at 5:30 to 7:30. We'll announce it the next couple of Wednesdays, but I can say, thank you to Doug, we're going to incorporate whiskey tasting with this. So that, I'm sure Doug, I told her, there'll be a lot of people that'll come to that social. So she's aware of that one. So that'll be fun. Then we have beach cleanup Saturday, February 11th. Flags on the Avenue, which is President's Day, will be Monday, February 20th. And then don't forget, and they'll talk about it in a minute, the golf tournament is going to be Friday, March 31st. And then a lot of people have asked about when is Rotarians at Work Day. That is going to be Saturday, April 29th. And then Bob Griffin asked me to let everybody know that Feed the Needy, that committee is back active again. They're accepting volunteers because what they do is they go down to Father Joe's and they do breakfast, serve breakfast 2 times, which will be April 12th and November 15th. So if you're interested in joining that, just let Bob Griffin know. So next, if we can get a microphone to Jane Simmerall.
President Luann and fellow Rotarians, I have a couple of caring concerns announcements today. First of all, Dan Hutchinson says hello to everyone. He hasn't been attending the in-person meetings because Rory, his wife, is undergoing chemotherapy treatments and they're just trying to stay close to home because of her lowered immunity. However, they do see family members from time to time and they're thrilled to be new grandparents. And the second is about Dan Orr, who had a bike accident on Friday. He went home from the hospital on Sunday and he is recuperating at home and he tells me he's having very good care. I think he would appreciate emails or phone calls. And also I'm circulating a couple of cards. So if you would please sign and make sure it goes to the next table and I'll gather them after the meeting. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jane. And Dan is joining us on Zoom. We only see his name, but Dan, I want you to know that everybody's thinking about you. I don't know if you want to unmute and say hi, but we're all thinking about you and fast recovery. So we're glad you're joining us.
You don't want to see my face. I kiss the pavement. So, but thank you all.
Well, you're welcome. And we're all thinking about you, Dan. So I'm sure you'll get lots of emails and cards and well wishes. Okay, so next, there is a slide that was given to me. There, if Sheriff Doug, are you there? You can come here. You need to explain this. I mean, do you take one of the flag on the avenue and take it with you when you get your hair cut? I guess he doesn't want to show up. I don't know. Doug, are you there? Is he? Oh, maybe he's away. Anyway, I thought that was interesting. Is he coming?
Uh-oh, what?
Doug, we need an explanation on this one. Do you take that around with you, a flag or what? Where did that come from? It's like you're Captain America or something.
Well, it does prove I got a haircut.
That is true.
It just so happens that that's the cover that particular barber uses. And it just so happened I was in the chair and Robert Syverson walked in and the rest is history, I guess.
Probably. Well, we like that one. So good on you.
Probably too much.
Probably too much.
The beard trim and the massage and the temple rub and all this stuff. So
Oh.
the whole debauchery.
All right.
That's it. Somebody take this bike.
I think Doug's done with that one. All right. So next, I want to ask up Carrie Siegenthaler. She's going to tell us about the trip to the pantry. We're going to show some slides as Carrie's making her way up here. And you'll see the slides. We went down Monday, and thank you to everyone that contributed the clothes and the food to the pantry down in IB. This is something that we formed a committee will continue to do. And the photos there are some of the volunteers. There's some of the food. One of the ladies there is, oh, there she is. One of the ladies there that you'll see is Deborah Benson. She's the in charge of the volunteers. So we're going to continue to do this committee because, as we said, they're our neighbors. They need our help. And until something's done, we'll continue to do this. So here's Carrie to explain everything to us.
Hi there. If you see a dog wander by, Sully's not sure why I left him back there, so grab him. Thanks, Luann. I appreciate it, President Luann. First off, I'd like to thank everybody who donated. It was amazing to see. And I know how much everybody in Rotary does, but I'm brand new. And to see what we were able to take down on Monday was just, I was so tickled. And the folks down at the IB Food Pantry are so incredibly thankful. We took an enormously full truckload down, plus more in the back of some other cars. It was really fascinating to see in the food pantry how it's set up, what they have, what they need. And Deborah, who Luann mentioned, is just so incredibly thankful that her neighbors, those of us in Coronado, have realized that folks just right down the strand really, really need our help. There were multiple members from Rotary that went down. We had family members that went with us. I think everybody left that experience feeling like we had done something that was really impactful. So thanks to all of you who donated. This is going to be an ongoing effort throughout the year. And so I'd ask all of you, since we're in January and we're all setting our goals for the year and our New Year's resolutions, if you can just, when you go to the store for your own groceries, just grab one thing. Grab one thing. We will let you know as their needs change. They're going to help us kind of hone the things that we need, the clothing that they need, perhaps some soap and shampoo and things they need for their Saturday showers. But we will send that out. So please keep an eye out. We have baskets here. Both Ginger and Jenny Johnson and myself and Bob Syverson have been very gracious to say that we can drop off stuff at those locations. You can bring them to the meeting. We want to make this as easy as possible on you, but please give generously as you do in every other thing you do with Rotary. So thank you very, very much. And we'll look forward to taking more things down. We're going to take them down each time. If anybody wants to join us, we'd love to have you come. And the committee, we're brand new, so we're trying to figure out who's who in the zoo. And we're going to have some meetings. So if you'd like to join us, we'll put that out soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Carrie. And then you saw one of the slides that they actually went on our website, took Coronado Rotary, and they have it posted on there as a thank you for a sponsor. So they're very appreciative of that. And when we went down again with all that food, there was not a lot of food in that pantry. So that's everything that we got. So thank you on that. Thank you for everybody that did that. And please stick to what the list is when they send it out. They really don't need women's clothes. I guess they have more men that need this service. So the next thing that I'm going to talk about is the youth protection certification that's needed to be done. This needs to be done by March 1st. So they finally got everything, the plans for the district, how to do this, how to get your certification. So Maggie Pettit, who is our club youth protection officer, sent me this to announce, just so people know that you need to go to district5340.org. and that all the information will be on there. But she wrote, every volunteer who works with minors in California is required by law to first take training in protecting minors from abuse and neglect, and that training is on the district. Number 2, have a live scan, which is a fingerprint background check. And number 3, then in the district, they require a volunteer to submit a volunteer application. And when you do all those 3 things, the district will notify you if you pass and if you're youth certified. And then Maggie's the one that maintains the records for our club. So if you have any questions, I know that past President Rob Taylor has done all this. You can ask him how he did it. You can check with Maggie, or you can check with Karen Strebulin. So just know that this needs to be done if you're going to do anything that's involved with youth. All right, next we have John McCann that's going to come up and talk to us and show us a little bit about our website. All righty, well, if it takes a minute, then what can we talk about? Well, I can tell you that what he's going to go over, when probably in the last 3 years, the requirement for the Red Badgers is that they get on our website, and we actually at the Rotary 2 meeting, get them on the website, show them around. And I can tell you that I think a lot of our members don't take advantage of our website, and particularly the members area, because I get a lot of calls on, hey, can you give me somebody's contact information, their phone number? And I want to say, you can go to the website and find that. So I'm hoping that with this will help everybody kind of get used to this. And then also one other thing while we're waiting, I really appreciate everybody that's been bringing their own cups. As you know, I've really been trying very hard to get everybody to get used to bringing cups to here to the meeting, to the different committee meetings, to this last time at the social, we had about 50 people there, and I think almost everybody brought their cups. So I thank you for that. You know, it's one little plastic thing at a time that helps our environment. So there you go.
All righty, so we did one little demo before on Zoom. So we all wanted to try and do it again in person while I'm here to give you guys a little bit better guidance. So if you've never been to our website is coronadorotary.org. There's a ton of information here that you can find and access your members area and get a bunch of information about, like Luann said, other members' contact information, just general committee information, and even access things like our calendar. So just right here on our second little tab right here, we have our calendar. And you can see all the different meetings that we have. And then one really cool thing is, say, for example, you haven't signed up for next week's meeting. You go right here, you can sign up right there and press RSVP. And then you would sign in with your username and your password. We'll go through your login is your email, and then your password should originally be your Rotary member number, unless you've changed that. If you don't know any of that information, It's in the back of your magazine, or you can always go to Ask Jamie for that information for your Rotary member number. Let's go back. Feel free to stop me if you guys have any questions. So another thing is the proposed new member packet. So this will open up into a new document and it will look like this. You can also find this in the members area. This is just the entire document that you can print out and give to a new member. I would review that with them and yeah. So let's see what else. Member area. Yeah, I'm gonna do that next. So another thing is the historical photo Dropbox. So that was one of the new features that we've added. That's what I forgot to do. So you need a Google account to sign in and complete the form. However, when you sign in, you're able to kind of submit any new photos or historical photos that you've had of Rotary. This will all go to CHA. So CHA is kind of putting together a full archive of all of Rotary's old photos, and documenting all our events, people. It's a really good kind of resource to use. And ever since we've kind of gone digitally with our phones and started taking pictures through our mobile phones, we really haven't been collecting all those digital photos and archiving them with CHA anymore. So this is kind of a way to hopefully add and really get these all together into one location, and really to remember the club for who's in it and who participated and really have a good history of all that. The next section that we can go to is the members area. So I'm all signed in here. So you can see it kind of shows off the new members that we have here at the front. And then one thing we can go to up here is My Club. So this My Club is going to give you all the information about our Coronado Rotary. If you want information about District 5340, you can go to the district tab up top. Now, in order to find, okay, I need Luann's phone number. So how do we go and find that? Go to member cards. And then it gives you all of the members' contact information right there and in a cool little business card format. And then we can go search up Luann in the top right corner. And now we have Luann right there. So now we can see if we need to send her an email, give her a call. And then another awesome thing is you can also see the committees. Committees are, so you can either do it from My Club and click on here directly on club committees. You can also go right here to this little three little people thing. This little gives you some shortcuts to access the committees. And it shows you all the committees that we have within the club. And if you're a member or not, and just relative more information and who to contact to be a part of that committee. Anything else? Let's see. Is that for the Facebook group? Is it a group or is it the?
Oh, you mean as a commit? I don't think it's a committee.
It's a different one. Okay, yeah. So if you want to access our Facebook from Rotary, it's in this top right corner. So any of our social media, you can access on that top right corner. And so you can go here, I'll just click Facebook and that'll go straight to our Facebook page. If you don't have any information on the Facebook page and want to get more information, you just, join group here. And then you'll be able to have that all together. Any other questions? Yeah, it's.
Yeah. You want to take this? Thank you.
It really is a lot of information on there. That's why I wanted him to share that. And if you want to join a committee, then it shows you what their mission statement is, who's the committee chair to get a hold of that person. So there's a lot of information, like I said, on there. Okay. Next, actually, my favorite thing is a who am I? And Michelle, if you want to come on up. And then Michelle's done with all her requirements.
Podium and I do not get along because I'm too short. Hi, I'm Michelle Gilmore. Thank you, Ed. That makes me feel better. I'm Michelle Gilmore, and I'm happy to do my Who Am I today. I've been looking forward to it. When I listen to various Who Am I's, what I always listen to is something that they reveal that I might not already know about them. And so I'm going to start with that. And I'm going to share something that is something that you all might not know. And that is that I want to be a drummer. It's true. When I was growing up, I loved music. I listened to albums, and Go-Go's was my favorite band. And I wanted to be the drummer in the Go-Go's. You remember her? And I always had the vision that I would be a drummer in a band. I really did. By the way, I'm not a drummer. However, this vision and dream I had of being a drummer has come to light in different ways, right? So I'm a drummer. One of the things that I love about drumming is being in the back of the band. And so you'll see sometimes in my family of 3 boys, my husband and I keep the beat of my family, right? So I sit in the back, I watch all my rock stars in front of me on stage with me shine and do their thing, and I just keep that steady beat. In a similar way, my husband and I are rock stars of our family, and in all of his family. He's the youngest of 4. I'm one of 2 daughters, and we have, he's the lead guitarist in our band at home. And so we sometimes have a duo, and we've been doing that for 30 years. We've been taking it on the road for 30 years this year. Also, in my day job, I beat the drum, and I sometimes beat the drum. Today, I'm doing it for the children of Coronado in the Coronado schools. Sometimes I'm a volunteer, and I beat the drum for the Boys and Girls Club and for Rotary and for wherever I'm putting my energy. So in general, I'm a drummer, even though I don't play the drums.
Oh, congratulations. And then her sponsor is Ron Bernetti. And if Ron wants to take off that red sticker, there we go. So that's important too. Oh, congratulations. You good? Okay. Okay, so next, Carol McClellan's going to tell us about Ryla. I think we have another short person.
Madam President, fellow Rotarians, guests, I'm getting a very short little synopsis of Ryla. Ryla is back on the calendar this year. As you probably all know, it was off the calendar because of COVID. And last year they did a 1-day Zoom Ryla. But this year they're going to have a 3-day event again. So what is Ryla? Ryla is the Youth Leadership Awards, commonly called Ryla. It is a program that originated with Rotary International and has been specifically designed by our district to meet the needs of the San Diego and Imperial County students. The history of Ryla, it began in our district, 5340 in 1972, with 100 participants, and has since grown to include normally 350 participants. Rotary clubs in District 54 look each other for high school juniors who are outstanding school and or community leaders with a strong service background. If you are selected to participate in Ryla, you will have the opportunity to exchange ideas with other students there. This year, Ryla will be April 14th through 16th at Idlewild Pines Camp in Idlewild. And who do we encourage to apply? We encourage student leadership youth by recognizing and rewarding them by selecting them. We normally send 8 Coronado students, 8 Mar Vista students, and we're hoping this year to send 2 from BCI, Barrio Logan Institute. These young people attend an all expense paid experience where they inspired by a diverse group of exceptional speakers, make friends from different schools around the county and Imperial County, discuss the ethical and social issues of the day, and then they return to their schools and communities motivated to take on additional leadership roles and to find additional ways to serve. RILA's intent is not to encourage students to be, it is to encourage students to be effective servant leaders. RILA is not a camp intended to teach leadership skills. It is assumed that the children or students selected will already have those. The following is a list of typical things discussed: fundamentals of leadership, ethics of positive leadership, qualities of a servant leader, importance of communication skills and effective leadership, conflict management and problem solving, building self-esteem and self-confidence, and elements of community and global leadership. Rotary's purpose of service to the community and the world. So, service above self.
Yeah, that's something really good that they have come back again, which we're happy that Riley's back again. So before I announce the last one, before our speaker, this person's on Zoom, and I have to start by saying go Bengals. So now, Pat Stark, if you're on Zoom, I just had to get that in because if you were here last week, he stuck in the Kansas City Chiefs. So Pat, are you there?
I am, and I'm not going to sneak anything in about the Kansas City Chiefs. I am sorry I cannot be with you there in person, but I am having sympathy pains with my favorite quarterback in my lower leg. So I am here, but I'm not here to talk about the Kansas City Chiefs and how they're going to beat the heck out of the Cincinnati Bengals. I am here to talk to you about the golf tournament because we went live just today. That means that our website is up and we have sent emails out to everybody who played last year. There are going to be fewer participants this year than there were last year because we're going to keep it to 144. That means if you want in, you best jump on your horse and get your reservation in because they're going to go quick. The details are online. If you played last year, you'll get an email, but I encourage you to sign up and get your fees in right away because we're going to have a great event. We've got a couple of new things that we've put together. Bob's team that's coordinating this is just awesome. And they've really come up with some great ideas. We just need you to jump out there, get your registration in so we can focus on making it the quality event we want it to be. Go Chiefs.
Yeah, well, this cost him when the Chiefs won last week. All I did was send him an email entitled Ching Ching. So this is just the more they win, the more he's got to pay. And I realized, Jamie, that I've got to pay for saying go Bengals. So next, Jean Marie Bond, if she wants to come up to introduce our speaker.
And I'm not short, I am vertically challenged. I would say we're very, very fortunate to have with us today the executive director for the Coronado Chamber of Commerce. Her family moved to Coronado in 2015 because her husband was then the managing director of the Lowe's Coronado Bay Resort. Prior to moving here, she had a very successful career in the hospitality industry. So when the job of the club membership director came up in February 2020, she was the perfect fit. She joined the chamber in February of 2020. 22 days later, the pandemic hit. And what I have to say, and I feel your pain, same thing happened to me, is that because of her innovation and drive, not only did the chamber survive, but it thrived. And she launched initiatives for their 260 business members, the most important of which I think is the In Coronado app. If you have not downloaded that on your phone yet, find it. Rena can show you how to do it. I can't. But she's now for 1 year been the executive director at the Coronado Chamber. And I'm going to confide in you that we were supposed to be having a music competition today. And so we just found out last week that we weren't going to have a music competition. And so poor Rena attended a meeting with me last Friday. And I cornered her in the room and I said, you either speak or you don't go home. It's a very special thank you to you, Rena, because it's not easy to do this in 1 week. This is for you to take home with you today. Thank you, Rena.
Good afternoon, everybody. I am excited to introduce myself. I'm Marina Clancy with the Coronado Chamber of Commerce and also future Rotarian. And in the last year, I really focused my attention on a couple of things that I'm excited to share with you. Could you put the first slide? So, like Jean Marie said, in 2015, we moved here with my husband's job in hospitality. We met and married in Arizona. I got my business degree. I double majored in tourism and business management. I worked for Ritz-Carlton, and then my husband got a job, and we moved to Boca Raton, Florida, and then we moved to South Beach in Miami. And then we unfortunately moved to Philadelphia for a couple of years. I don't talk about that part much. But then we moved to Coronado, and our story is like many stories I've heard. We at the time had a 1.5-year-old son. We made that trip over the bridge and we said, that's it. So we've been here ever since. And my husband was here, of course, and my son at the Lowe's for 5 years. And my son is a fourth grader at Silver Strand. So we've been here for 8 years, and it is just so wonderful. And we're very closely tied to the community. A little bit, could you switch this side? Thank you. So this is our team. So the Chamber of Commerce, like Jean Marie had mentioned, I started 22 days before the COVID shutdown. And which was really, really interesting. It was a very quick, free way to the intimacy of owning a business in Coronado and seeing what our successful business owners really struggling. So quickly, we were able to create these relationships of trust and resource with my team there. Fast forward to September of 2021. As many of you know, Sue Gillingham was my executive director. She went on to retire and enjoy her grandchildren. And I told Mike Wywoody, who's our board president, and I'm very happy about that. I don't know if he is. That this was all roads had led to this job for me. With my background in hospitality and small business, this job came up and I wasn't looking for a job. This job came to me. And so I felt like it was a perfect fit and it belonged to me. And just as a side note, my mom was widowed when I was very young. So as the last of 4 children, she was a single mother. And as she was working and building her businesses, while we were very young, she belonged to the chamber and she found a lot of community and a lot of resource from her local chamber. So I was in the chamber from when I was very young, and I was aware of what the chamber could do for somebody like her, who's a mother who's raising her children. So this is our team. You've probably seen us around at networking events and things like that. It's a small team of 3 people. There's June and Carrie and myself in our office, and Mike is our president for the 2nd year now. And some of our board members and businesses are in here, so you probably have seen our faces around. Could you switch this slide? So I want to talk about the chamber and our mission. Our mission is helping businesses succeed so that our community prospers. But as things have gone up and down in the last 3 years, what does that even mean in 2023? And so we make it our job to constantly pivot of what does the community need right now? What is our big picture? And our big picture is our mission. So we stick to it. Does this fit our mission? So we look at understanding the current economic challenges nationally and locally. While we belong, and let me talk a little bit about that bullet point. While we look at what's going on in San Diego or even in the county itself, Coronado is a very special place. We have special problems that sometimes don't affect everywhere else. So we look at things that are happening around that affect our business levels, affect tourism, affect the military, but we also look deeply in Coronado of, okay, now here at home, how do we fit that in and help our businesses now? And we advocate for the needs of business owners and operators in the current climate. Many people don't know that some of the rent of some of our business owners is upwards of $30,000 per month on the Avenue and in Ferry Landing. And if we look at how, from a quote from one of our board members, Tom Latona from High Tide, he says, do you know how many pizzas I have to sell to make that happen. So for us, we do look at that. That's a very real situation. So what we do for advocacy is instead of saying, hey, on a random Tuesday when you're feeling tired, go get a $2 coffee from your favorite shop. That's fine, but that's not keeping those doors open for that local business owner. We look at ways to promoting a very healthy climate so they're no longer in survival mode. We want our businesses in thriving mode. And I'll get to that in a minute. So we look at ways that they can operate. An example of advocacy is, David Spatafor is a local business owner here in Coronado and has many restaurants, wants to expand his patio up on the second floor at Stake. And what we look at the chamber is what is the cost of not doing this particular thing, not supporting this particular business person. And unfortunately, as we can see, is as rents go up, the cost is an empty storefront, is somebody who another mom and pop shop that goes out of business. So we really like to prevent that. We like to give our business owners an opportunity for their best shot to do business in Coronado and to continue to stay on top instead of, taking out more loans. The other one is for outdoor dining. As you all know, extended outdoor dining is through December 31st of this year, and that gives businesses the opportunity to continue to keep their staff safe when there's an outbreak, when there's something. The outdoor climate really promotes lively eating outside in Coronado. I think we all enjoy eating outside on the patio, and it also allows our businesses to stay on top of their finances and their rent. And then also we cultivate relationships and ideas that progress our mission forward. So as we've said before, you may have heard the chamber say that this is really a 360 organization. We are not just business advocates, we're advocates for the community. Our families go to school here, we're in all local clubs. And when a business is doing well, they're likely to give back to our local clubs. They're likely to participate in our local initiatives. And so it's really full circle. It's not the businesses versus the community. It's really all one. We all support each other. And when the businesses are doing very well, they're very, very happy to give back to our 100+ nonprofits. And finally, connecting and referring businesses and organizations to solutions. What we look at here is perfect partnerships between businesses, between organizations and each other, connecting people to others that need things. We do that both in person and we do that through our website. I'll show you in a couple of slides here, our chamber website. We've been seeing drastically high numbers. We'll see between the Coronado Visitor Center, which the chamber also runs, and the chamber website, we see an upwards of 5 million unique users per year. So that's a lot of referrals for Coronado. That's a lot of resources for our local businesses that we get to keep in control of, that those businesses are also not paying all those marketing dollars to be seen and to be used. All right. So I've been in this job for the past 15 months. It feels like a lot longer, but it also feels really short. And one of the things that we looked at is what is our theme? And I'm really lucky to have a board of directors, not just because Mike is here with me today, but truly because we have a board of directors of 14 amazing directors and a team of 3 that is forward thinking, that works together. And we're really pleased with the chemistry and the ideas that come about in our meetings. So our focus for the past 15 months was the upgrade and update. So we were looking at ways, how could we make things more exciting? And also, how do we measure our success? So we have a new chamber database and website. The way we measure that is by unique users that visit. So we look at our analytics there. And we see that when you have something new and it works really well, that people really enjoy using it and they'll continue to use it and tell their friends about it. We have new benefits and events. Some of our events, our chamber and networking events, came back online in 2021. And a lot of our businesses confided that, hey, I haven't been around my other businesses and I don't know what to say. And sometimes things aren't going very well. And so we break the ice. We get our businesses together and our organizations, and we meet once a month somewhere fun around town. There's bites, and there's always a really nice group of people that get together. And as a result, we have a great, thriving business community now. And they all seem to know one another and enjoy discussing unique business topics. As you have noticed, we upgraded the lights on the Rotary Christmas tree this year in partnership with Discover Coronado. Thank you, Todd. And the city of Coronado. And we said, this was another thing of what could we do? How could we drive business to the avenue that night? And we want our locals, when we shut down the street, don't go straight home and don't go on Amazon and don't go over the bridge to the mall. How do we keep you on the avenue? So the way we measured that was we went to the businesses right away and said, hey, did you see a spike in business the night that we, for the parade and tree lighting? And some of them reported, not only did we see a spike in business, it was our best night ever. So we can see, and we asked them to look at their sales, not just, do you think, but really look at your numbers. Did you make more in sales? And for us, that's a really big deal, as we know that these community initiatives where there's some effort being made, the city and local organizations see that this is something that is really great. People get behind it. They get excited and they want to stay downtown and support our businesses. So we're really pleased with that turnout. And I'm very, very thankful to Discover Coronado and the city of Coronado for that funding. And then one of my favorite things, I love that Michelle described herself as a rock star, because I personally feel like she is absolutely a rock star. And I'm so thrilled to partner with CSF and with Michelle for the second year in a row to put on the Coronado Art and Wine Festival on Saturday, May 13th, the Saturday before Mother's Day. And that was an amazing partnership. I would call it a dream team. And we're really excited that the chamber has stepped out and collaborated and partnered. And the success of that is just absolutely wonderful. We also found that that was on C between 9th and 10th. And we polled our businesses again to say, did you see a spike in business from this community initiative, from this arts and culture event? And they all said yes. 95% said yes. There was only a few that said no, and they were not businesses that you would think would be busy anyway. And then at the ferry landing, they saw an increase. So we see that if you do something, people are in town, they want to keep shopping, they want to keep eating, and it's just a really great time. We find too that that's not just for visitors at all. We didn't market anything off island for that. Those are all local community members and their families. So that's to say we want to have a good time too. I don't want to do something for somebody who's visiting for a weekend. I want to do it for my family. I want to stay in town. What do I want to do? And what do I want to see? And that really paid off. And we're excited to do that again together. And then also we have new lively signage and decor at the chamber office. So our office needed a little bit of a wake up after COVID. And so we did that, and we're continuing the process of doing that and getting custom maps and partnering with Crown City Magazine and Coronado Magazine to put those in places, including walking maps and the trolley and the bus, so that we could really help minimize the amount of cars that we have on the road. All right. And then this is our roadmap. So our roadmap shows the 5 events that the chamber produces to bring the community together to promote our mission. One of the new things I'm really, really excited to tell you guys about is our new centralized Coronado community calendar that we are beginning the project on. It should be done within 6 weeks. We don't have a central calendar in Coronado for all of our events, for all of our meetings, even looking at the Rotary calendar that looks fairly full. We don't have a central place to say, what's going on this weekend? What am I doing for the next 7 days? We all, probably go to 4 or 5 calendars that we depend on. And we found that each of our calendars either were too hard to use or took too much time. And so we find that if it's too hard to use and if it takes too much time, no one's going to use it. And if no one's using it, then it's not resourceful. So we partnered with the Coronado Arts Commission to put together a centralized Coronado calendar. And the way that is able to promote clubs and to promote membership, it links directly to those websites and events and whatever you want to put on there. It really puts it all in one place. So people, sometimes they don't go to something or support it because they don't know about it. So if we have it in one central place, the ability to get people to your events, membership drives, whatever you're doing is increased. Next, in April, we're really excited about our 37th annual Salute to the Military Ball. And this year's theme is homecoming, reconnecting and reuniting. We're focusing on families that are apart and the message of hope. That's at the Crown Room at Hotel Del on April 15th. And tickets go on sale for that, I think, this afternoon or tomorrow. We're really thrilled about that. That's where we get to have 100 active duty couples attend for free to the event. They really love this event, and it's a message of appreciation and just a celebration of our local military and how thankful we are. And then in May, of course, we have our Art and Wine Festival, May 13th. Hopefully everybody is going to attend that. And then in October, we usually put on our Celebrate Coronado First Responder Awards. This is where we can thank our first responders, and it's at Feast and Fairway. It's a really nice time. And we have our Lewis Hardy Award winner, which was Dave Landon this last year. And I know that our police and our first responder and fire and lifeguard are very appreciative of this event. We really appreciate that connection because they're just absolutely wonderful. And then finally in December, we have the holiday parade and tree lighting. This year we broke some records there. We had so many people in the parade and so many people out in the streets to enjoy it. And we find that, we just really enjoy community and being together, and what comes of that is really fantastic. And now just showing you this is a snapshot of the last year of things that we do at the chamber. Our networking events and our ribbon cuttings are always a lot of fun. We had several new businesses cut the ribbon in the last year and join the Coronado Businesscape. And we also have our chamber socials every month. And as you can see here, they're always at a local business. They're always at a local place. There's drinks, food, and great community. And also for organizations and clubs. And we just really want to promote people getting to know one another, to really connecting the business community with the residents, and really helping everybody understand that we're all one. We all are wanting to put Coronado first. And our success is proportional to the number of entrepreneurs that build their business in Coronado for the days to come. So a lot of it is we want to see our younger people joining the chamber. We want to see future business owners seeing the impact it has to build a small business in Coronado. And then I have a couple of little quotes that I've learned along the way, and I'm going to tell you each one. And one of them, my husband says this a lot, and I've thought about it a lot in the last 15 months, is if it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense. So if we're looking at our businesses, and we ask them if it's not driving business to Coronado, if it's not driving business to our local organizations, then we really need to take a deeper look at that. We don't want to take anything and throw it at the wall and see what sticks, but we really want to make strategic decisions that benefit our mission. If you could flip it, please. So how do we know if we've achieved our goals? How do we know if we're successful at the chamber? We look at measurable data. We do not look at anecdotal data. So we look at things like money and sales, membership dollars that we're bringing in our budget. And we also look at web traffic and engagement and feedback from our stakeholders. So we take our feedback on what we're doing really well and things that we could work on. One of the things that we were made aware of is we don't have a central calendar. Nobody's taking the bull by the horns on that. We said, well, that really fits our mission. We'd love to take that on. So we really look at ways that that our measurable data is continuing to increase. And that way we have something that we are going by, and we know as a team and as a board of directors what we're working toward. And by the middle of the year, like I said earlier, our number of website users should increase by 30. So this takes us to about 5 million unique visits per year. Many people don't know that the chamber also runs the Coronado Visitor Center, and that website is undergoing a very big renovation. We're adding more than 100 blog posts that are very relevant to local and residential use. And they include such a wide array of fun topics, and we're really excited to reintroduce that when it's ready. That should be really soon. And finally, one of the quotes that I have lived by in the last 15 months is Rome wasn't built in a day, but they were laying bricks every hour. Meaning, we want to see change quickly. As soon as I have an idea, I want to run with it. I want to see it done. I want to see how great it goes. But we know that change takes time, and doing something really well takes time. So we remain patient. We ask for feedback. We look at things that we do year after year after year, and we ask for feedback on how we can do it better. The chamber is really committed to pivoting and progressing through what does 2023 look like for our business landscape, and what does it look like for Coronado? And we look at ways that we can constantly improve either the community with our businesses, or we can look at increased traffic in our stores. And we look at ways, our arts and culture events is a really big way to do that. And we're really excited to continue to reintroduce new projects and initiatives. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Rena. So next week, we're going to be back at Coronado Yacht Club, and we're going to have Mayor Richard Bailey come and talk, and not about the city, but about his extreme climbing adventures that he's done. So it should be really interesting. So everybody go out and have a great Rotary week.